As she packs up her few remaining possessions, Valerie Dallaire can't help but think of her recent birthday.
July 27 was the fire. July 28 was my 60th birthday. And so I'll never forget this birthday. I don't want to remember it.
The fire at this apartment left Dallaire and her neighbors without a home. A property title search of the building lists the owners as Henry Phu Ren and his wife, Feng Yan. The couple has a long history of bylaw infringements with the city of Vancouver. On Tuesday, they appeared in court facing 20 previous charges for fire bylaw violations at the same building. In 2021, Ren was found guilty of 5 bylaw infractions and fined $13,000. Outside the courthouse, former residents gathered.
The building overall was neglected to quite an extreme, and safety obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but I don't think was a concern of Henry's at the time, and here's the consequences of that.
CBC News spoke with multiple residents who described how the building was filled with leaks and mold. Rats, mice, and roaches were common. The back door, they say, was often barred shut. Dallaire had lived there since 2016.
It was just piecemeal fixing. You know, he could have kept this building and made it beautiful. He just let it get run down.
Her neighbor Greg Kelly moved in 3.5 years ago. When the building needed repairs, Kelly says Ren neglected to do it.
Every time I told him I had a problem, he says, "Well, you don't like it, you can move." That was his answer for everything.
Vancouver Fire and Rescue Service investigators concluded the fire was sparked by a candle, but also found that some fire codes were again not being followed. It has recommended further prosecution, which it says is not a common step.
Our preferred method is obviously to identify the infractions and inform the building owner or the building manager and work with that party to correct those infractions.
CBC News has learned that it's not the first building owned by these landlords to go up in flames. A decade ago, an apartment building in Burnaby caught fire twice in 4 years.
More than 10 hours after the fire started, and it was still burning.
It was eventually gutted, and more than 100 people were left without a home. Back at the courthouse, counsel for the city asked for a 2-week delay to review documents Ren sent late Monday evening that he claims prove he has taken steps to address fire code offences. Ren refused to speak on camera but said he believes the charges against him are false and he intends to prove it with photographs of the building. Right now, the City of Vancouver is providing emergency support for the displaced residents, including accommodation at hotels, food, and clothing. But that support ends next week, and Kelly worries he won't be able to find a place he can afford after already viewing 16 apartments.
We might be going from the Sandman to the street.
Ren and his wife will head back to court on August 29th. Joel Ballard, CBC News, Vancouver.